to the Boss Bay Business Show. I am your host, Katan, and founder of BossBayBlog.com. So, happy Thursday. I hope that everybody's doing wonderful. I know it hasn't been that long, but it feels like it's been that long because I have so many updates for everyone about everything we've been doing over the weekend, the Soft Girl Sunday. We have some professionals that I'm going to be interviewing tonight on the show. And I'm going to have a couple of really inspiring messages from these professionals, as well as some great products and services that they want to showcase. So I first just want to start off by saying, let's all just take a deep breath because I know we have one more day till Friday. I'm going to take it with you. And I want to just give a couple of shout outs and kudos to all of the wonderful women that I had an opportunity of networking with and connecting with at Soft Girl Sunday. I'm sure some of you that follow us on social media have seen the post, but it was such an inspirational and wonderful event as always. So I want to shout out everyone that took the time to come and be interviewed on our platform and share uplifting messages. I want to say thank you to Esma. I want to say thank you to Giovanni. I want to say thank you to Lucy. I want to say thank you to Beth. I want to say thank you to Kimberly. I want to say thank you to Letitia. I want to say thank you to Kanitra for showing up, one of our director members. I want to say thank you to Lacole for interviewing all of our vendors at the event and placing them on your platforms. I want to say thank you to Greenhouse Photography for taking these photos of the event and sponsoring the event. I want to say thank you to DJ One as well for sponsoring the event. I would also like to shout out our drink and mixologist, the Max Experience, Maxine. Huge shout out to her. She had some wonderful rainbow colored drinks that matched the theme of the event, and everybody was loving it. I wanted to get an interview of her, but I really couldn't get her away from that bar. So unfortunately, we didn't get her for this last Soft Girl Sunday, but we will get her for the next one. I would also like to say thank you to Kisses by Monique. Shay, your speech was wonderful, and we had a lot of great feedback from the women that were saying they really resonated and enjoyed what you had to say. So just a huge, huge thank you to every single person that was a part of the production. And even if you weren't able to attend, I still appreciate you for registering, for sharing. There were a few people that couldn't attend, but they shared our post on social media. And I'm welcoming you to come out to our next Soft Girl Sunday. It's going to be on June 7th at 1 p.m. Central Time to 4 p.m. And it's going to be based in Plano, Texas. Zip code is 75024. So we're going to be at Sugaring, LA. And all you have to do is go to bossbayblog.com and click on our events page, and you'll see Soft Girl Sunday. I think it's like the second or third event. So anyone that wants to come out, have a great time with us, connect. We're going to be having some old school jams. Feel free to drop one of your favorite songs in the comments that's either a throwback, retro, or old school jam, or our artist. And so we're going to have some music. We're going to have some educational conversations about the history of Juneteenth, some of the misconceptions that people have about the holiday and what it actually means, and different ways that people celebrate it, different flags that people use and what those flags are related to. So it's going to be a really great conversation if you're someone that just wants to learn and be educated on different cultures, and celebrate Juneteenth with us. Also, we will be interviewing again. So if you are someone that registered, hello, thanks for joining. Happy Thursday. If you're someone that registered early, then you are on the list of the first people that we'll be interviewing at this Juneteenth event. And even if you're not someone that's being interviewed, but you're just coming out to celebrate with us, we welcome you. And we can't wait to have a good time. Soft Girl Sunday is like my breather, after the busy week and the busy previous month. And so it's just such a beautiful time. So thank you again to everyone. And thank you to people that brought me gifts too. I really wasn't expecting that. I never am, but it was really nice. So I do appreciate you all. And the hugs. I love hugs. So just thanks again. Now we'll move on to one resource, and then I'm going to go ahead and start interviewing an entrepreneur that we haven't had on the show before. And I had the opportunity of interviewing at Soft Girl Sunday. So while I'll let you guess in your head who that might be, I want to talk about this upcoming opportunity. So in on June 6th, which is a Saturday, from about 12:30 to 2 p.m. Central Time, I am going to be teaming up with a author, coach, and publishing brand, AL Publishing and Consulting. It's owned by Lacole Smith, and we're going to be having a entrepreneurship Q&A meeting. So any entrepreneurs in North Texas, in the DFW area, that want to meet me in McKinney, Texas, at Mabel's African Cuisine and Bar, which is another verified business listed in our directory, then you want to head on out there and see us. We're here to answer any questions about entrepreneurship. Um, Obviously, I can't answer everything because we're specialists for reasons. So everybody has their industry, but there's a lot of things that I do focus on, like branding, website design, social media management, coaching, consistency. If you're struggling with motivation, if you're struggling with gaining sales, I've been selling since the age of about 11. Started very early. And then I've also helped with training, developing teams, team bonding, talent acquisition, retaining clients, and also retaining team members. So if these are any things that you're struggling with and you have questions, and maybe you're just not at a place yet where you're ready to invest in that consult because you're not sure, you just want to kind of explore the conversation, you can come and meet us. And that's going to be on Saturday. So it's the day before Soft Girl Sunday. Yes, it's going to be a busy week. We have multiple events that week. And so that is one of them. And then also, I'll be inviting entrepreneurs. We have, I think, 8 more seats left for any entrepreneurs that want to come on my Small Business Expo, which is online on that same Saturday, and advertise their business. All you have to do is text the word expo in all caps to 833-705-4352. We'll get back to you within 1 to 8 business days, and we'll have you set up so you can sell your products on our live show complimentary. And so far, we've done two shows, and every show, our seller, Kanitra, founder of Bougie Steps, has been able to gain some sales. And I've also been able to gain sales, even though I was hosting, I wasn't selling. So if you want to be a part of that platform, come check us out, try it out and see if it works for you. All right. With that being said, we're going to move on to my favorite part of the evening, which is where I get to interview wonderful entrepreneurs. So tonight, I'm going to be interviewing a professional that I had the opportunity to connect with at Soft Girl Sunday. I resonated with our conversation because I can tell she's really focused on making sure that women understand the power in taking care of themselves, and also the power of knowing that you control your confidence through how you take care of yourself. So that conversation was a great reminder for me, especially because there are days sometimes when I'm behind the scenes and I'm not, customer facing or talking to people. But we're going to talk about that conversation in her interview tonight as well. So let's go ahead and bring on this lovely professional and let's get started. Oh, struggling. Hold on. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. How are you doing, Letitia?
Thank you. I'm doing great.
So I'm excited that you're here tonight because I was happy that I got to meet you in person. So first off, thank you for attending the events and thank you for taking the time to learn about my brand and what we do. I would like to ask you, what would you say your favorite part of Soft Girl Sunday was, or your biggest takeaway from Soft Girl Sunday?
My favorite part was connecting with other women. There was no standoff person there. Everybody was smiling, introducing themselves, and I just loved every minute of it.
That's true. I didn't think about that. You are so right. I never saw one time where somebody was just by themselves.
Oh, yes.
That's a beautiful thing. Okay, well, thank you for that. Highlighting things I didn't even realize. Um, so let's move into this interview. If you could just introduce yourself, tell us who is Letitia and how did you come to be an entrepreneur?
I am Letitia Shepherd. I am the owner of She Styles Boutique in Dallas, Texas. I am a divorced mom of 2 girls, girl mom. Um, I am a person that I always say I'm a gym rat, always in the gym. I love to look good, feel good, and I love to pour back into other women. So this entrepreneurship started with me helping friends that would always say, "Hey, can you find this for me?" And, "Okay, I'll go look for it, and, can you style me?" And like one of my friends said, "You need to start this." And I'm like, "I don't know." And then 2 years later, here we are. So,
Mm, that's funny because that's similar to what her name is Kalia. She also owns a boutique and she's in our directory too. And she was telling me the same thing. She was like, I just did it for fun. People would be like, hey, how should I wear this? And then she was like, I need to be doing this.
oh,
So
yeah.
for you, how was that? Like, was it tough handling entrepreneurship while, you're growing your business, but also being a mom, and also navigating through, divorce, or was that something that came after, like the chapter after?
The boutique was the chapter after. I've been divorced for
Okay.
a while. It has been very challenging. I would say to anybody that when you become entrepreneur, if you're working in corporate America and you have children or spouse,
Mhm.
this is the night job when the corporate job ends, but it's something
Mm.
that I love to do. So it doesn't seem like work, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Which is it's fun. It's also dangerous because you have to remind yourself, okay, I
Yeah,
need
because
to
there's no
take a
time
break.
off.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
going and you're always thinking your mind is going. So you lay down at night thinking you're going to sleep and then oh, an idea back to the notebook. So that's the
right.
entrepreneur life.
A lot of 2
Um
o'clock, 8 a lot of 2 AMs.
yeah, yeah, a lot. And I've had to get better at that because like I was saying on Soft Girl Sunday, I had a time where a client I was posting on social media and a client came in my DMs. She was like, "Go to sleep."
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, yeah.
That was a eye opener because I'm like, I can't be talking about work life balance and taking breaks, and I'm over here, working. But sometimes, you have those late nights. Um, I oftentimes ask, what would you say was the hardest moment for you as a entrepreneur? And I would say as a mom entrepreneur, because we do have a lot of women that are also moms and
Mhm.
entrepreneurs. So, what was your hardest moment or challenge?
I think starting the business up, as far as when I was starting the LLC and, doing everything, the research getting started, but also, running to the track meet, or I got a daughter that's graduating high school, so doing senior events. So, I'm going here, then I'm coming back, and we're up at
Yeah.
night, and she may be taking my photos, or,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
then just, I would say letting people know who I am, you know,
Hmm.
doing this. A lot of people do this. So,
True. Yeah. Very true. I was talking about this yesterday too. When it comes to boutiques, fashion brands, there's a lot of brands out there. And when you ask a shopper or a consumer, can you list off five small businesses that sell apparel or five small businesses that sell shoes? Oftentimes, they can only give me one. And part of that is because, there's so many people, but it's the promotion and the noise coming from brands or corporations that have been around for a very long time and have those marketing teams that's established. It's so loud. So, you have a lot of people in entrepreneurship that are in the fashion industry, and it can also make you sometimes feel like, well, do I need to be in this industry because there's so many people in there? So, how did you navigate through that? Like, how did you continue to keep going even though that was the case?
not comparing myself to others, it's easy to do, especially with social media. You're looking at everyone else, how they're branding their boutique,
Yeah.
but you really have to find your customer niche, right? To figure out, okay, I may not market to this particular consumer, or who resonates with my business. And I would really say just don't compare yourself, because that can be very hard, and it can be very deterring if you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
and yeah,
agree.
and finding myself a mentor really helped me. I got a couple mentors. So when I'm having a moment like, I'll call them up, and then they'll say, okay. They kind of will me back in and say, okay, this is what it is. So
Yeah, that's true. I definitely relate to that. In marketing, it's kind of the same for me. Like there's so many marketing agencies and brands out there providing the same services or similar brands. And so I had to come to that realization as well of, okay, well, your brand is not going to look like that because that's not your approach. And, your model isn't going to align with that because that's not who you're speaking to.
mhm,
So just be yourself. And the more I started to just feel comfortable in being myself and not focusing on what the next person was doing, the more authentic the content became. And the more like my audience just loved it. Stuff that I was nervous about initially, they ended up like loving it. Like videos where I'm cracking up and I want to post it, and I'm like, let me just keep that in the archives. But I just posted
mhm.
it, and all of my clients love it. People that I haven't met yet love it, and I'm like, what was I? It's crazy how sometimes you can be your biggest obstacle sometimes
Oh, yes.
in your own head. So yeah, that I really relate to that. So let's talk about your message tonight. What is the message that you want to share with the audience?
Getting dressed, shifting your mindset as a woman, right? We prioritize, other people's needs, especially as moms or wives, and so we're pouring into
Hmm.
everyone else, but not pouring back into ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's something that's very important. It does shift your energy. You look good, you feel good. I always say you don't have to break the bank to look good. You
Hmm.
know, get up every day, get dressed. Something as simple as and putting on a cute little set. I work from home, and so a lot of times I'm in athleisure. I get up every day, and put a little lip gloss or lipstick on, a little fragrance, but no one's here with me. But this is just to keep me going, right?
Hmm.
Um, and I always think that's very important because it does change your mood and your spirit. It's a form of self-care for
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah, I agree. There's like the difference between, okay, I get up, I do my skincare routine, take my shower, do my hair care routine, do my nails. Even though I could just be going to the grocery store, I just feel good doing it. Like, it's a complete difference versus feeling like I'm rushed. And that's another habit that I had to break away from because, like you said, we can sometimes be so focused on everybody else, even in friendships. And so there's moments where I really needed to just take a break or I really needed to just slow down. And I was just trying to rush to stay up, with what was going on. Okay, you guys want to go out? I got to be here at this time. And I made a rule for myself where I said, no, if you can't get ready the way that you want to get ready and really take your time, then you just can't go. And you can just say no and go the next time.
That's right.
And it was hard in the beginning because I was worried about what people would translate that as, like, oh, I don't hope she thinks that I don't want to go out with her, or oh, I hope he doesn't think that I don't like him. And finally I just had to just stop caring. And I was like, no, I want to have fun. I don't want to feel like I'm being rushed. And when I'm running out the door with one shoe on, and not that I've ever done that, but that experience, it's like, I guess the best way I could explain is like anxiety driven. I'm not
Mhm.
at peace. I'm not calm. I'm not feeling graceful.
Right.
So I've
Yeah.
started doing that where I say, okay, if I have my time to get ready, I'll go. If I don't, I won't. And I make it clear to people so that I'm not feeling like I'm rushed. Like I had a gentleman that wanted to take me out, and I was like, okay, what time? And he was like, well, we can do it in an hour. And I was like, well, I'm not ready in an hour. I was like, we might just need to reschedule for a different day so that I can feel good and, go through my full routine because it's kind of spiritual, like taking care of yourself. So,
Oh, definitely, definitely. I always say, this really started for me with my mother as a child, and I laugh about it now, because she would always get up on, growing up saying, "Oh, I got to put my face on." She was always into glam and fashion. And
mhm.
I had an older brother that was much older than me, and I'm thinking, what is she doing? And we could be sitting at home on the weekend, but she was fully made up. She's looking pretty, even if she's in jeans. She has on like a satin blouse. I'm like, what is going on? But it was making her feel good. That was her mindset, right? And
Yeah.
so looking at that, and now she's almost 79 years old, I'm like, she's still like that. And
Mhm.
I love it because I think a lot of women we lose ourselves, right? We're professionals, we're moms, we're wives, but it's still important to give back, love yourself. And I hear a lot, since I started this business, someone will say, "Oh, well, I need to lose weight." Shop for the size you are. I have been different sizes.
Yeah.
I have been thin, I have been on the thicker side, in between,
Mhm.
whatever you wanna say, and I shop for whatever my body type is at that moment. That doesn't mean you don't have to look good. You can find something for wherever you are at that particular place in your life, right?
Yes. Yes. And
Still look
I
good, and
mean,
you don't have to do a lot. It can be I saw something the other day, a lady was showing just how to put on a cute headscarf and wrap it around and put some gloss and mascara on, and it changes your whole attitude. You didn't do
yeah.
much.
She said it changes your whole attitude. You're a whole new person walking
Yeah,
out the door.
yeah.
No, that is so true. Like, there's a couple things you said in there that I resonate with, like the thing about, the moms, that something that they do, taking care of yourself. It's like a requirement. You must, have yourself put together when you leave. And when you're younger, you don't always understand. You're like, man, you're taking a long time and just to do this, just to do that. But it's about taking care of yourself because they knew something that we didn't know, and that is at that time, and that is how much work, love, and sacrifice we pour into our communities as women, and how
Right.
easy it is to lose yourself to a point where you're not doing that for yourself. And it almost feels like, this is just how I felt, but it almost feels like the instant that you lose yourself, you become almost forgotten by the people that you were helping find themselves. That's been my experience sometimes, like as a woman. So after seeing that, I made a promise to myself. I will never sacrifice how I'm feeling, my taking care of myself, looking good for the sake of wanting someone else to feel better. I'm going to make sure I take care of myself at all times. And even if I'm in a relationship and they stress that part of the relationship, I'm going to make it clear that this is a priority in order for us to be in that relationship. You got to know that I'm taking care of myself first, because if there is no glow in me, you're not going to love me anyways, because I'm not who I was when you were attracted to me. And a lot of times we lose ourselves trying to please other people. We lose ourselves when loss happens in life. Sometimes we just lose that spark because we stop doing the things that we love. But I resonate like with that sentiment of we got to take care of ourselves. We have to put ourselves together. So it was just hearing it now, but also hearing it at the Soft Girl Sunday was just like that little reminder in my ear of, we got to make sure that we're encouraging this in our community of women. And then what you said too about shopping at the size that you are.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know what, it's this weird thing in life where people make you feel like you have to wait to start living it. I'll do this when I get that. I'll start my business when I see enough people that are interested. I'll, wear the clothes when I've lost the weight. I'll go out on the date when I feel a little more confident. Like, just live
Right.
in the
It does
moment.
it doesn't have to be complicated, just be intentional with it, right?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
you see women say, "Oh, okay, well, I'll wait for the special occasion." We may not ever get the special occasion, you
Yeah.
know?
Uh-huh.
So, do it now, be the moment.
Yeah. And you
You're
said
never you're not
something.
overdressed, if you feel good and where are you going? I'm looking good, you're happy, and someone's gonna compliment you. I think we talked about that Sunday. You
Hmm.
know, I always try to encourage women, it doesn't cost anything to compliment another woman,
Yeah.
cheer her on, right? So that it's very important to me to tell women, not to feel body shamed, whatever weight you're at, just
Yeah.
dress and be the best you at that point. And, I like to say no high-low fashion, high-low fashion because, at our boutique, we have things with the minimum of $30, right?
Hmm.
And where are you going to get a set for $30? And, you could put that set on and accessorize it and, and then you're ready to go out the door
Yeah.
and you
Sets
look
are so
beautiful.
underrated. Sets, jumpsuits,
I love
and
them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
dresses. Yeah,
Mhm.
underrated because you don't have to do any thinking. I just
Yeah.
throw it on and I go. Like, this is a dress. You guys can't see, but this is a logo dress. But when I do wear this out somewhere, I put on some cute heels, slip
Mhm.
my hair back, and I'm
Yeah.
good. But when you got to think about like the shirt, the top, the jacket, it can be fun. But when you are on the go as a businesswoman or just as a woman, a mother, whoever on the go, sometimes you want to be able to just put it on, look nice, and not have to do too much thinking, but still feel confident. So
Yeah, when you look good and you feel good, that confidence is exuding from you, I
mhm.
mean, everybody can see it,
Yeah.
and it may have taken you maybe 15 to 30 minutes depending on what you need to do. We were talking about makeup, before we
Mhm.
started. You don't have to do a lot of makeup. It can be usually I'm a lipstick person with a little mascara, and,
Yeah.
a little face tint every now and then if I'm leaving the house, but it doesn't have to be anything major.
Mhm.
Just
Yep,
make it a
I
part
agree.
of your daily routine.
There was something else that you said that I was gonna. It was something that you said in the interview, but I lost it. I wanted to make a point about that, but maybe it'll come back to me. So while we're talking about all of this, did you want to show off some of your products and
Yes,
let
I
everybody
do.
see what you have? Yeah.
Sure. So we carry sizes from extra small through 1X.
Okay.
Anything from sets. This is like one of my favorite sets, if you all can see that. They're like
Ooh.
at the pants, and it's kind of like a little shawl on top.
Oh, let me get my other device because I want to share this. Your website is shestyles.me.
Right.
Okay.
And this is one of my favorites. I think this is so cute in this Kelly green. It's a little
Ooh.
vest with a little ruffle. So, like, if you have a little tummy, right, this is
Hmm.
going to cover that. The pants have a little elastic waist in the back. So, great stretch. A lot of the things that I carry.
That's vibrant. I like that.
Yeah.
I love green with
Something new we have.
pops of white.
Yes, yes. So this is our new thing. This is like we used to call them hammer pants back in the day, but I'm gonna date myself, right? But now they're harem pants. But these are so wonderful because they're oversized. You can size everybody that has purchased these, you basically size down, right? Because
Okay,
they're
yeah.
oversized. And you can do them with anything. I did them with a tank, and I had a necklace on and some earrings and a cute little wedge. And
Hmm.
it was perfect. Some bracelets. So you don't have to do too much.
They
This
look comfortable and like breathable.
they're very comfortable and they wash well. You don't have to take them to the dry cleaners.
Oh, good.
So this is one of
I'm
my
terrible
favorites.
about that. I'm glad you said that because I've
The
torn
dry
up so
cleaners?
many beautiful pieces because I don't, I don't, it's not that hard, but
Yeah,
every
yeah.
time,
You can
every
put it on
time.
delicate.
Yeah, that's what I need to do. I've gotten a little bit better, but lately, since I had been shopping with small businesses, I haven't had as many issues because the quality's been pretty good. So, I mean,
Good.
even if sometimes it's not the quality, it's really me not following the instructions. But when I usually put my items in, I always wash them, same colors. I throw them in the dryer. I'm so bad about it because I'm just trying to hurry and get through the. It's already hard enough getting
Yeah,
through the laundry.
it is. It is. And this one is one of my favorites. This is a denim set, right? It's a vest. And so in the
That's cute.
summertime, you could wear it like this. It has a nice silver detail around the buttons. But then
Hmm.
when it gets cold, you can put a white poplin shirt underneath, right? Or a turtleneck,
Oh,
right?
yes.
So you
With some nice
get a couple
bell
seasons out of
sleeves.
it. That's right.
Yeah.
So
Some
yeah,
chiffon.
yeah, bishop sleeve shirt, anything like that. We do carry some accessories. We started carrying a few earrings here and there, trying them out and
Wait,
hoping to grow that.
what size was the blue one in and what's the price for that?
This denim set is 100. It's
Okay.
wonderful quality, and I have that in small, medium, large.
Okay.
And then, but I do have other sets that start at $30. I mean, and
How does
great.
it fit? Does it run like I need to go one if I'm normally a size large, I will be
I would
good?
wear your normal size in it. It's still stretch. They're
Okay.
stretch in both pieces, but I would wear your
Uh-huh.
normal size. You don't need to size down on it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Noted.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sharing this in our group.
Yeah. And then we started carrying in the summertime. We always carry a tote, right? You need a cute tote with your maxi bag for the people going on
Mm-hmm.
vacation. This is our newer one, and I love it because you have the gold, the black, and the cream. So this is the first time I've
That's
seen that.
pretty.
So it's a good mix of things. And of course, we carry maxi dresses. So whether you're ready to go on vacation or you're just brunching, you can go with friends. These are some new shorts we got in.
Cute.
They're tying, so they're going to kind of do a bubble effect at the leg.
Okay.
And these are $30.
And I like that color.
Yeah, yeah,
Neutral. You can wear it with a lot.
yeah.
Okay,
And you,
I'm dropping her website in the
I'm going to
comments.
move this because you were asking about this cute little. You thought it was a dress. I was
Yes.
move
Let
it
me
up.
bring yours. Actually, let me make your screen larger too so people can see that. Ooh, that's so nice.
Isn't that cute? And it's actually
Yes.
a halter in the back.
Okay.
It's very stretchy. You can downsize in this, and that belt on here, you can make you a waist, right? So
Hmm.
you can untie it and then kind of make it kind of comes over to the side. And I like that because if you have like the mommy tummy or just a little pooch period, you know,
Hmm.
it's away from that. Yep. So those are some of
Okay.
the
Let me
pieces.
show that off. Can we show off that maroon one more time? And
Yeah.
then I'm gonna hold on. I wanted to take myself off so they could see the full.
So this
I'm
is
trying to. Oh, there we go. Okay.
yeah, so this is a
Yes.
jumpsuit. It has a halter back. You'll see here, very stretchy. You can downsize in this one. This one I actually wear a medium, and I'm usually about an 8'10" in pants, and I wear a medium in this one.
Okay. And I'm dropping her website in the comments, everyone. Like I said, it's shiles.me. So really easy to remember.
And check us out on Instagram so you can see the latest drops. It's at she_styles_shop. We usually do a few drops every week.
Put both. And then do you mind showing off those other pieces that you show one more time, but bring them a
Yeah,
little closer
sure.
to the camera? I know I got you moving all around.
You're okay.
Okay, so this is her website. I'm pinning to the comments for anyone that would like to check her out. The first item is the green set. How much is this one?
This one is 75.
That's
The pants
ew.
have a zip. They have elastic waist. I wore this with a cute little lace cami or a little satin cami underneath. You can also
Hmm.
do a blouse under this one, right?
Yeah, you can. I would
Mm,
probably do a blouse under that one too.
right.
Either a bell sleeve or the
Yeah.
bishop sleeve that you were talking about.
Oh, yeah. And these are our new pants that we've got in. And these are running $60. And you can downsize this. They do have a zipper, and you can see this gold hammered button detail on
Oh,
there.
that's pretty.
Very
I
cute.
love that gold. I love hammered gold,
Me
silver. It just
too.
has like that artisan kind of look to it.
Yes. And then I
I've
didn't show
always
these.
liked
I got
that.
to show y'all these. I just got these, and these are becoming a hot seller. This is a new jean, and it has the gold coin buttons. These are belt loops here,
That's unique.
and in the back, and they have a great amount of stretch. These come in extra small through large.
What does
So
the bottom of the pants look like?
kind of like a wide leg.
Okay. I like a wide leg jean.
Yeah.
And people, I've noticed that lately the wide leg has been trending a lot.
Yeah. And this is one of my favorite ones, Catan. This little jacket.
Oh, that's cute. Is that a half jacket?
It's a half jacket, but the sleeves are ribbed, right?
Uh-huh.
And then it's denim here, ribbed at the back, and denim at the bottom. This is so cute. You can wear this
Ooh.
all year long. I actually styled this. I put on a bodysuit with it, black, and I had it on top, and then I had on like denim booty. And it was,
Oh,
yeah. So it's a
that
nice.
looks cute. I
Mhm.
love half jackets. I don't know what it is, but I just love me a good half jacket that I can wear. And sometimes even with dresses,
Right.
casual and dressy, like with that one, I probably do like a um bodycon maxi dress that's
Mhm,
black
mhm.
and some white sneakers or some kind of cute sneakers to go
Yeah.
with it.
I went to
Yeah.
Vegas and I wore it with like a black jumpsuit, and I had on some Cortez Nike that were black with the silver Nike sign on to bring out the silver detail in the jacket. And I
Hmm.
like a big silver hoop, and I was getting so many
Oh,
compliments.
that's cute.
Yeah, just cute little jacket, but it's really stretchy. And this is like, I think everybody needs a denim jacket in their closet, right? You can do so
Yeah,
much with it. So
I agree. I have a few. Denim is just like a staple piece. That's why even when you were talking about that set, that's still a great price for a denim set. It's just something that you can wear over and over again, and you don't have to wear them together. You could do the pants
right,
with a
right,
top. You could do the top with something else or a layer underneath. There's so many options. Did you have
right.
any other ones you wanted to show off?
I think the last thing I'm gonna show you all, we started carrying statement earrings. So this is a denim earring. You
Ooh.
can see that. So there's pearl here and pieces of denim jean, and we carry these in light and the dark denim. And these are $30. They're not
Oh, that
heavy.
is so unique.
They kind of fall to the shoulder here. You see that?
Uh-huh.
So, some different statement pieces.
Okay, that was my next question. I was gonna say, are they heavy?
They're not
Um,
heavy at all because it's really the denim fabric is light. It's just a little pearl here. So yeah, I tried them on. And then this is another cute one. We got these in the fuchsia and white.
ooh.
And these
You
are
know what I just thought of?
uh-huh.
You probably saw them, but Kenitra had these fluffy, cute heels that were fun.
I've already ordered them from her. I'm waiting on her to get them in. Yes, I did.
Oh, that's
I
hilarious.
asked her Sunday about it. I was like, okay.
Oh, that's too funny. So you got that last pair that was on the website?
Yes. Well, she said she said she had to order them. I think she was gonna have to order them from me. I seen
Okay, like
one
special
of her
order.
customers wearing them, and I'm going, where are those? I went right to the website, and she said I can order them. I'm like, okay, I'll be waiting on them. So yeah,
That's good.
my favorite color. So I'm like, okay, that's perfect.
I instantly thought about those when I saw that one, like with
Yeah,
a cute, fun, fluffy heel. But also it could be something like that could be the statement of the outfit. Like if I did a maybe all white dress and then
right.
just a pop of gold earrings
Yeah,
and a cute clutch.
because they
Got a
came
lot
in
of
white
options.
too. The white looks so clean and neat.
Ooh,
That's
now
pretty.
that would be pretty with denim.
And they're very light. They're so light.
They're fun. I like that because you see a lot of those that they're short, but they look like fans. They're still cute, but I don't see a lot that are long and have
Right. The
that
dangle.
fan on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we kind of walked through some of your products, we talked about how your brand became to be. I would just ask you, what is one message of inspiration that you would like to leave with anybody that might be going through something?
Oh, so I would say if you're going through something, we talked about this on Sunday, make sure that you talk to someone. A lot of times, we hold things in, vulnerability. I know I was big on that. I don't want to show vulnerability because I don't want to appear a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
But it's actually self-harm, right? When you're holding that
Hmm.
in and you're not talking about it. And then I used to find it where, okay, I'm going to confide in a friend. But sometimes it's a lot for our friends to hold. And so it's okay to talk to a counselor, therapist. It doesn't mean anything's wrong. We talked about people saying, well, what's wrong with you? It's none of
Yeah.
that. It's helping you be the best version of yourself. It could be anything from compartmentalizing things, even when I got a daughter that's graduating, so I'm about to be an empty nester. So,
Hmm.
that's something I can talk about, the anxiety that comes with that. Like, okay, this is the next chapter of her life and my life.
Yeah.
It could be something from work, but, make sure that you show up for yourself by talking to someone. Be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable.
Yeah, I like that message a lot, and it's like a very balanced message because part of me is hearing the side of be vulnerable and allow yourself to be open so people can hear how you're feeling, and not you don't have to feel like a robot. But then the other part of
Right.
me is really resonating with sometimes it might be too heavy for your friends to
Mhm,
carry. Sometimes we don't realize that everybody's capacity is different, and some people
mhm.
have a capacity where they're able to just take everything in from everyone, and I almost feel like that's not healthy either. But I see other people do it,
Right.
and they say, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm fine." I don't. Sometimes I wonder. I'm like, "Are you really fine?" But
Mhm,
for me personally, I know myself. I don't have that full capacity all the time for everything. I often
right.
say this. I say I know that I'm going to show up for my friends in every room that I can, but I won't always be in every single room at the same time, and I won't be depending on the room that I'm in, I might not be the first person that you see because I have to
Mhm,
give what I have to give.
mhm.
And I can't, overextend myself to the point where now I'm feeling like, I'm tired or I can't handle it. I go through my own things mentally, emotionally. So I try to make sure I show up. But it is true. Sometimes, you gotta, even if it's like we talked about therapy, going and finding another way of expressing and releasing yourself, but
Mhm.
just not putting all of the responsibility of your mental health and your growth on your loved ones because it becomes hard for you in the relationship because you don't want to make someone feel like you know everything is dependent upon if they show up for you, and then it
Right.
also becomes hard for them because they love you and they don't want to tell you, hey, I think you might need to get more help, or I think this might be what you need. So it's just a strain that's put on the relationship, and I've seen that in relationships that I wouldn't say let go of, but I had to reapproach.
Mhm.
And I've also seen that in other people's relationships where they did have to let go of that because it was too dependent. And it was like, I think what the word I'm looking for is the inability to communicate a need for boundaries and a need for self development, like
Mhm.
development outside of just us as friends. You still need more work. You still need more help, just like I need more work and I need more help. So
Right.
I feel both of those messages a lot because that was something that I think I had to be real with myself, just in relationships where I was like, okay, I'm doing the best I can, but this is a lot.
It's heavy. The
And
load is heavy. And it doesn't mean that you don't want to hear it, right? Or you don't wanna be
yeah,
the shoulder to cry on, but sometimes it's like it's very heavy depending on what's going on in your life, right?
yeah,
And then I've been a victim where I felt, like, overwhelmed, like, "Okay, I'm trying to be a great friend or a great daughter, but this is overwhelming me." So, yeah,
yeah, that's the word, overwhelmed. And I
yeah.
had to just take a moment to pause and see what needed to change because there was moments where I have someone, dropping a load on me, but I'm already mentally processing my own
Right,
load.
right.
So
Yeah.
so, face value, it looks like I'm great. Hey, Ton, show up, work, boss babe vlog, let's go out. But mentally,
Right, right.
that's what they're thinking because they're my
Yeah.
friends. And so they might see a post on social media or they might see a video pop up on a different platform and be like, oh, And so I think that's what they're seeing at all times. But there's moments where I'm like trying to mentally piece it all together. And,
Right.
you come in and dropping this huge load on me. Let's make sure I'm in a space to receive that. And I think that's what I did to help me re-navigate some of those relationships
Mhm,
for
mhm.
myself and for my friends. I started being very attentive, like towards my friends. How are you doing? Like, are you okay? Can I speak with you right now? Are you busy? Let me
Mm,
just check and see how you're feeling right now and assess, because sometimes we just come with the load and we don't even check to see
that's
if they're
right.
able to, if I even have room to carry it.
Yeah.
So, I could be over here dragging myself by, on the
Well,
floor
they
dragging.
say the saying
And
is, check on your strong friends, so
yes,
yeah,
check
yeah,
on your strong
yeah.
friends, because I'm
Okay.
telling you, we're going through it sometimes. And even a soft girl Sunday, like I had one of my friends, my good friends, I've known her since high school, and she popped up at the event. I didn't even know she was going to come, and it just made me like so emotional, like so happy. She almost had me breaking out into tears and being a crybaby, and that would have been my third event in a row. I can't be doing that, but
Hey, be vulnerable. What did I say? Be vulnerable.
true, true. Listen, if you were at the first one, you'd understand, because I had everybody sobbing. I was sobbing. I was
You had
giving
the
a
big ugly
speech.
cry.
Yes, we were ugly crying. We got it on. Dante got pictures of it. And then by the time I finished the speech, I was like, oh my God, I got all these people there crying. And so I try to, like, let's soften
Yeah.
soften the
Mhm.
message. Let's transition into, some softer things.
Yeah.
But no, it really is true. Like, you got to check on your strong friends, and strong friends have to have the courage to accept when they need to stop being strong for a moment and be vulnerable, because that is also on us as well. We have to take accountability for that. And for me personally, that's something that I've learned too. I have to take accountability for how I communicate, how I'm feeling and where I'm at, and standing firm in that, because you can't expect, I always say, you can't hold other people accountable for checking your temperature, because they really don't always know.
Right.
So that was something that was hard for me.
Mhm.
Only because I always wanted people to know, like, I hope they know I love them. I hope they know I care about them. I've lost people in my life that I really cared about, and whether it was through them not being here anymore, or it just happened that the relationship was no longer healthy. But the thing that always pops up in my mind, like after I lose that person or while I'm with my friends that I have, is I hope they know I care about them. I hope they know that even though I'm working a lot or I'm busy, that I'm thinking of them, and that our relationship and my love for them has not changed. And that fear of not knowing if they know that, because if something was to happen to me or to them, would they leave, or would I leave knowing those things? And so that was something that I think it's healthy to have those emotions, but it's not healthy to operate off of those emotions and feel like you have to be there for everyone at all times, or else they won't know that you love them and that you care about them. And
That's right.
that's the difference that I had to set for myself. Like, hey, it's okay to feel this way, but you still need to be clear that mama needs a break,
Mhm.
and she don't even have no kids.
I mean, you can still love them from you can still love them from afar. Sometimes life takes us different directions,
Yeah,
say different seasons, and sometimes, what happened. I used to feel bad for when, I'm at a different stage in my life and I'm like, I'm not there anymore. It doesn't mean I
yeah,
don't love them. And I had wonderful memories, and, you reminisce on those times, but you're at a different level now, and
yeah.
that's not saying, okay, I'm better. It's not that. You just
Hmm.
may not have what you're doing. They may be doing something totally different. I've noticed this even since I've opened the boutique. You will
Hmm.
have people that are like cheering you on, and then you'll have people that are like, So I don't take it personal,
Yeah.
you you grow from it. I grow from it.
It's the
Yeah.
"Mm,"
Yeah.
but that was a whole
Yeah.
sentence in itself. You even have
Yeah.
to explain it. The
Yeah.
noise made it was self-explanatory. But no, you're right. That is something too that I had to work on, because initially it bothered me a little bit, like I'm over here working on this, I'm doing this. And sometimes I would have friends that would be passive aggressive about stuff. Like I had one friend where, and we moved past this, but at one point in time, she would just say things like, yeah, because you never want to go out, or you never want to do anything, or miss big shot, or stuff like that. but
Mhm.
it's hard for me to differentiate, like, if you're joking or if you genuinely mean these things. And then it makes me feel like, well, don't you know that, like, even though this is my goal and this is my dream, my mission that I'm on, this isn't just about me. It's about everyone around me. It's about my clients. It's about my family. It's about my future. It's about my future children. I'm trying to make life easier and more prosperous for every person that's around me. And that's a lot of people to be not accountable for, but to feel a sense of responsibility to be there and support. So, how could you not see that, like, what I'm doing is so that we can be chilling on a yacht
That's right.
with our feet up? But
Right.
instead, you want to be out in the rain
Mhm.
singing "Can You Stand the Rain?" I can't stand it. I don't. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
So that was a really big issue for me, and it kind of goes back to what you said too. And then after this, I want to let you go, but I want to let you leave your last message. But it goes back to what you said about the fear of being vulnerable. That concept of feeling like if I express how I feel about this, if I say like, hey, you made me feel like this, or I don't think I can handle this right now. Like, I'm at my capacity. That means that I'm not able to handle you as a friend, or that means that I'm showing a level of weakness or emotion. And
Mhm.
getting past that and realizing that it's just simply you being self-aware and communicating.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
that's all that it is. And they'll receive it. Like you said, you can't really take it personally. They'll receive it or they won't receive it. And you just have to keep on moving.
That's right. That's right.
So, yeah. But good talk. Good talk.
Thank
Snaps.
you. All right. I love it. Thank you. I will close with saying, just remember, who is she? She is you, the person you see in the mirror, no
Yeah.
matter where you are in your life, give yourself grace, love yourself,
Yeah.
and I've enjoyed this. This has been wonderful. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you again. And I had a great time with you at Soft Girl Sunday. So
Oh, I'll be back.
mhm. I'm glad. I'm glad you coming back after me dancing. So good. It means the
All
performance
right.
was great. Have a great night,
All
Letitia.
right, you too.
All right. That was an awesome interview. Great conversations as always. And I have her website at the top. Hello, Devon. Thank you for joining. Happy Thursday. I have her website at the top, and I'm going to go ahead and transition to the next entrepreneur that we have on. If she is ready for me, let me just triple check, make sure we're good to go. And if not, I'll just go back to that free resource that I was talking about earlier, which is our meetup that's happening on June 6th, Saturday, in McKinney, Texas, where we're going to be talking all things entrepreneurship. You're going to get a Q&A. So any questions that you have, business, advertising, marketing, consulting, coaching, expanding, all of that, it will be available. All right. So the next entrepreneur that I'm bringing on for the show, she is a wonderful professional who happens to be listed in our directory. I found her on social media, and we just got along. We never looked back since. We've just been growing together. She's been helping other entrepreneurs with sharing their own voice. So I want to go ahead and bring on this wonderful professional. And she also hosted a workshop at our Soft Girl Sunday event. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Thank you. So, Nicole, welcome back. I want to first say thank you so much for attending Soft Girl Sunday as well. I appreciated your presence in the building. And I also appreciated you interviewing the vendors at the event and giving us that extra level of exposure. Um, I want to ask you, what do you feel was your favorite part about Soft Girl Sunday or your biggest takeaway?
I think my favorite part about South Girl Sunday was the connections that were made. It was a lot of connections. It was a lot of females in the building,
Mhm.
but it wasn't catty. It
Yeah.
was such a nice feel. Nobody
Mhm.
was like, okay, I gotta try to outdo this entrepreneur. I gotta try to outdo this one. It was very nice. It was very fun. It was welcoming. I had a blast.
Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. So, um, and as we were talking, me and Nicole were talking behind the scenes about Soft Girl Sunday and some of the plans that I had for next year. Uh-oh, echoing. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see if that helps. Okay, let me know if it's still echoing, Devon. Thank you for your feedback. I appreciate you. Um, so, we talked a lot about Soft Girl Sunday, and after talking and sitting, because, I was saying maybe next year I'll do 4 Soft Girl Sundays instead of 12, and I'll just invite everybody in one big building and go from there. But Nicole was like, Soft Girl Sunday is like a break. Like, I don't know if we want to do that.
Yeah.
And and then I mentioned it to someone else and they said something similar. And I was like, okay, we need to keep Soft Girl Sunday as a monthly thing. And honestly, I enjoy it as a monthly thing. It almost feels like I'm waiting until the beginning of the month just so we can get back and have fun together. So I do
Yeah.
appreciate. No? Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Devon. I do appreciate you sharing that. And I also appreciated Letitia's sentiment as well. It is something that's so close and like dear to my heart. And I try really hard to create spaces where women feel safe enough to be that, because I do know what you're talking about, where you go into environments and it could feel catty. It could feel like, we're not really here for the right reasons. It can feel like I'm just a number and this was really just about me being a number versus me being served the way that I wanted to show up and be served and the way I wanted to be of service. So I've had those experiences in work, in business, in friendship, and I wanted to just make a space where it was the opposite, be a part of the solution. So I'm glad that it translated from what I'm hearing.
Yeah. It was very welcoming. Um, One of the things that I really took away from it too was how everybody just felt like the flow of whatever was going on, they made sure that they was present. Um,
Yeah.
when you were interviewing, people were circling around and listening and watching the interview. When I was interviewing, people were stopping and looking to see what I
Mhm.
was doing. When I was hosting the workshop, people came in, they interacted. It was something that just helps you release without feeling like, okay, this is another female thing that's going on that I can't be myself. I can't let my guard down. I have to always keep my facade on or keep up my makeup face per
Mhm.
se. Um, this is somewhere where, we meet you where you are and we have fun while we're doing it. And it was a really good.
It was. It was. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It was very nice. And then I have to shout out Tiana too. Thank you, Tiana, for coming through. Um, she it was so nice to look up and like see people like crowding around and listening to the conversations and just being, like you said, present and really like engaged in it. It was nice. And when she was standing up there, I was like, okay, you ready for interview? And she was like, oh, no, 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 I'm not doing an interview. I just wanted to hear the conversation. She was like, no, I just want to hear the conversation. But the look on her face is like, um, you can tell that these women that we were in this room with, they are proud, they're happy, they're supportive. That's what I would
Yeah.
say. It was a look of someone who is proud to be a part of it and proud to see someone else doing great. And that's like a
Exactly.
priceless feeling. So I appreciate that. There's many more to come. So now that we talked a little bit about Soft Girl Sunday, could you please just introduce yourself? Let us know, who is Nicole, what's your business about, and how did you become an entrepreneur?
Well, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Lacole Smith. I am the CEO and founder of AL Publishing and Consulting. I'm the CEO and founder of Motivational Talk Dialogue, that show, which has a new thing that we showed off at Soft Girl Sunday, our VIP red carpet experience. And I had a blast debuting it at the event. And we will be doing it again at the next Soft Girl Sunday. But just to say a little bit about me, I am I'm a mother. I have 4 daughters. I have 6 grandkids, only one granddaughter. So um I'm just, I'm just basically who I am. I'm just me. Uh Out here in the world just trying to make it like everybody else. Um I actually didn't try to become an entrepreneur. I just wanted to write a book and put my
Mm,
information out there. And baby, writing that book was, ooh, child. And
Let's
they
talk
laugh
about
at me
that.
when I say this. They laugh every time I say this, but I was like, I had to go across that water and get this, and I had to go across the water and get that. And I was tired. I was tired. I was tired of looking for people. I was tired of trying to figure out what was the next thing. I was tired of people trying to change my wording when I was writing. And we think
Yeah.
it should go like this, and we think it should go like that. And where I think your cover needs to look like this. Well, no, that's not what I want my cover to look like. So when I finished with all of that and the headache was over, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn how to do this so that people don't have to go through all this headache. You shouldn't have to go in all these different all these different places to find somebody to do the things that you want. I shouldn't have to go over here to get my cover done, over there to get the publishing and editing and all of this done. Why it can't just be under one umbrella?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
basically why I started it. And motivational talk, dialogues, and show just basically it was by accident. Um, I was doing comments and just trying to motivate myself and my friends in my regular motivational talk group. And from there, we started doing girls' night on Thursday nights, and it was a panel of four, and we would interview people, and sometimes we would just do like a round table talk.
Hmm.
And God started pulling each one of us in separate directions, and I was like, "Well, Lord, I don't know what you finna pull me to do, but I know it will not be in front of the camera." And look at where I'm at,
And
and
look
that's
at
where I'm
you.
at.
Look.
That is where I'm at. In front of
When
the camera,
I
behind the camera, on the side of the camera, under the camera,
everywhere
and
and
I'm just
all the Soft Girl
everywhere.
Sunday videos, Nicole, you just see Nicole, you see a flash of rose gold and sparkle on the corner. I even hear you in one of the videos that we were posting. You were in the background and you were like, "You want to meet my daughter?" But it's so funny though, like when we first met, you were more focused on helping other people share their story and getting them in the spotlight. But for you, it was like, no, no, I don't, don't really know if
Right.
that's what I'm here to do. And now you're at a place where you're still helping them, but you're also empowering other people to know that you can be nervous, uncomfortable, and still go out and make a change and an impact on a lot of people.
Definitely. And it was very important to me to help other people. And I don't know if I've ever shared this on your platform, but when I was 12 years old, my mom told me that me and my dad, well, me and your dad will help people now and you later. And I'm thinking, yeah, whatever, mama. I don't like people like that, but okay. Cause I was, I'm not gonna say I was quiet because I wasn't quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I used to run my mouth, but at the same time, I always wanted to help people behind the scenes, even when I was younger. And it was like, okay, so this person might not have enough for, to get their food at school. Where I would give them mine. And I would
Yeah.
be like, okay, I'm gonna be fine. Like little things like that that I look back on now. I was already being prepared for where I'm at now. And 2 weeks before my mom passed, she asked me that question again. She was like, "Do you remember when I told you that?" And I was like, "Yeah, mom, I remember." Like why? Because at that point, I still wasn't seeing it. I still wasn't in that mindset. I still wasn't like willing or wanting to be that person that was out there just helping people. I didn't see that. And now I'm exactly what she said I was going to be. So definitely enjoy it. I definitely like the fact that I can help people, that I can pull people up, that I can help them share their voice and not take away from the voice that they have. I
Yeah.
love that I can give them the opportunity to learn how to do it themselves where they don't have to just rely on me and keep coming back to me and pouring money into me.
Yeah.
Because that's what these publishing companies do. They they allow you to write your book. They allow you to publish the book through them, but they want you to keep coming back to them. They're not teaching you how to do it yourself. And that's what AL Publishing and Consulting is. It's not just publishing a book. It's teaching you how to do it so that you can start helping somebody else do the same thing that you're doing. It's a
Yeah.
change. It's a
Yeah.
legacy. It's a growth thing. It's not just something that's placed out there for to say, oh, she help people write books. Yes, I do. But I teach them how to do it so that they can help other people come up as well.
Yeah. That's a really beautiful thing. And it's true. There's tons of different business models out there, but the goal as a coach, as a consultant, as any area where you are providing something to someone, um, you really want to make sure that that person is able to take care of things without you. It should still run smoothly. And a lot of people, sometimes professionals in that industry, get so lost in how much money they could make that they forget that if your clients feel like they can't see growth and elevation, they're eventually not going to want to stay with you because they need that growth. So if I've been publishing but I don't know anything about publishing, I don't know anything about the laws, I don't know anything about copyright, I haven't learned how to go and do it myself, I might get to a place where I
Right.
say, okay, I need to learn now. And if I don't feel like I can get that from where I'm at, I may go somewhere else. And that happens a lot in the consulting industry. And also just with teams in general, I always say, like, your goal should be that the people that you are coaching or consulting or teaching or training should surpass you. That should be your goal. Your goal should be that
Mhm.
they know more about a topic than you do, because you're not here to know everything. You're here to teach them your craft so that they can take that and expand. So I definitely see the beauty in that as a consultant. Like, and it feels good too. I mean, contrary to what people might think, it feels really good. Like, one day I had a client come to me and say, I just hit $50,000 in sales. And I was so excited, like, to hear that in her years of working and building and stuff. And, some people might feel like, okay, well, what can I do, or what can I sell? Or sometimes you don't need to sell. Sometimes you need to focus on making sure the development is there. Because when you focus on the development and your client feels like they're gaining something of value, you have a client for life. You have family. You have people that will keep coming back to you, and they will keep bringing people to you, because it's not just about the service and then we're done. It's about, I want to give you something that when I leave, you have something of value left. You're not having to
Exactly.
call me because you need X, Y, and Z. So I absolutely love that. And oh,
Yeah.
see, you got Devon over here in the comments triggered. He said, I'm just messing with you, Devon. I'm just messing with you. Don't come after me. He said, yes, the opposite of a dry hater. And then we were talking about that in a podcast, actually. Him and the owner of Sister to Sister Wellness Spa. She's based out of Mesquite, Texas. We all had a podcast episode, so it'll pop up on our YouTube. It's scheduled, but it was a great conversation. And he said,
Yeah.
I still get frustrated making sure um, the book is error free for KDP. So I'm assuming he's talking about that writing process. I understand the editing part takes a long time.
It does. And actually, it's a little trick to that I learned in a training that I had. So
Hmm.
I now have a new trick for the editing.
Okay.
So
All right. Devon, go ahead and get
I'll
on
be
over there with
teaching that in my author coaching course. That's $25 right now. So
yes, and it is very much worth it. I got the course. I published my book within 4 days. Um,
and
and
did. She took me
yes,
fast, y'all. She took me fast.
it's good though, because if you're someone that needs time and you want to do a monthly course, you can do monthly. But if you're someone that just needs the information, like, I just need it in front of me, I want to go, then it's perfect for you. And for me, I'm both of those people. But in this specific situation, I already knew what I needed to do. I was waiting for the right opportunity or timing for me to go ahead and start this book, but you had that opportunity available, and I was like, oh, I'm jumping on that like yesterday. So I jumped on it and I came in there, and I just already had my book written, so I was able to get it published. And mine is actually an affirmations book, guys. So within the first, I think it was the first week, we sold all 10 copies.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, okay. So the first week, and then I'm actually getting ready to print some more. So you guys will be able to see that. And we might move to getting some put on Amazon too, but I don't 100% know yet. We're still working on that part. But the book's published, the book is selling,
Yeah.
and it was very quick. So go to her website, check out her author coaching course. You can use my code BOSS, BOSS1, to receive a scholarship discount, which is going to take off $175 of this course and make it $25 for you. That's available for 5 more people. And then if you are wanting to still sign up and that's gone, you can use my code BOSS2, BOSS2, the number 1 and the number 2, for both of those. And then you're going to get $150 off of the course, which brings it down to $50. And keep in mind, this is a course where you will be gaining monthly information from Nicole, and it is for 12 months. So even if you publish your book early, you still have access to the course for the remainder of those 12 months, and you can publish more than one. She has a book club that you can be a part of to have your book in. She has anthology opportunities for her authors exclusively. So there's a lot of opportunities that are available in your community, Nicole. Nicole, let me get into, can we talk a little bit about where that, I guess maybe like that shyness, or I don't know if I would call it insecurity. I don't know what you would call it, but that resistance from being in the spotlight or being on camera, where did that originate from, and how did you overcome that?
Um, I don't even know where it came from. I just was always the type of person that wanted to work behind the scenes. I guess maybe because I didn't want accolades. I always wanted to be the one that made sure that things got done, but I didn't
Hmm.
want people like saying, "Hey, I appreciate what you did," or making a big deal about it. And I think that's why I tried to stay behind the scenes for as long as I did. But sometimes God has other plans for us. Even
Hmm.
though we might be like, okay, I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't want to be in the front and center. But sometimes he's like, this is where I need you to be because I need somebody to hear your voice. I need somebody to know that you came from not wanting to be in front of the camera and this is something that you do for your business. You came from not wanting people to always be looking at you or trying to, size you up or judge you up to, okay, she did this. She overcame this. She's not afraid to be in front of the camera. I've never been camera shy because I'll take pictures all day, every day. But it was getting in front of the camera and talking
Hmm.
and wondering, I think too, if people was gonna be acceptive of the things that I was saying. Because sometimes people hear you, but they don't accept the fact that you're saying what you're saying.
Hmm.
And that was something that I think I had to overcome as well.
Yeah.
But once you kind of get past that little rough patch, I think everything kind of smooths out and it's not as bad.
Hmm.
But sometimes you just have to get past that rough patch and know that what you're doing is for a reason and a purpose. And if you keep pushing and you keep going, then you will fulfill your purpose.
Exactly. You have to dip your toes in that water, because everything that you were scared of, you come to realize that some of the things you were scared of will happen. And even after they happen, you will overcome them. And some of the things that you were scared of weren't even a reality, in this universe for you. It was just a overly heightened fear that you had. And so for you, like I told you when I first went live, I was a little nervous. Like I had the jitters. I was like, oh, hope these people perceive this. I hope I don't get canceled in the first day of going live because this is the cancel culture. So you
That's
say the
true.
wrong thing and you're out the window. So, I was just like, oh, okay, take deep breaths. But I went from that nervousness of, like you said, will people see what I have to say and really receive it, to now people actually asking to hear me speak or actually coming out to see me speak. So that's like such a beautiful feeling. And I would have never, in that first day that I was going live, I would have never been thinking in my mind, people are going to be asking to hear me talk about things, or people are going to be requesting
Exactly.
me, so it's just, you have to put yourself out there no matter what it is that you're thinking you can't do. You got to do it. You owe yourself that much to try. So Nicole, let's talk about your services or your products that you want to talk about this evening.
Well, we kind of talked about the first service that I have, which is the author coaching course. It is definitely something that you want to tap into. And like you
Hmm.
say, you have a full 12 months to go in there and do what you need to do, learn what you need to do. We talk about the editing, the formatting, like you say, copywriting, um, learning just how to create covers is actually something that I'm going to add to that
Okay.
because it's part of the whole process too, and it was something that I wasn't even thinking about because it's not the part of the process that I really have hands on with. My daughter does that. So
I remember you telling me that.
um, just fine tuning everything, making sure that you're getting all the information that you need to be able to self-publish, and that's part of that's part of the process. Learning the best way to edit, learning the best way to format. All of these things are necessary when it comes to this course and the things that you need. Some people have written books already and they still come and they take the course because they want to make sure that they're fine tuning the things that they have and they're able to do more by themselves without bringing in someone else. And that's the whole purpose of this course. So if that's one thing that I could put out there and share for $25, even for $50, you're getting the best deal that you can get when it comes to publishing your own book. Um, a lot of these places I've heard people say, "Oh, you write your book in 90 days for $99." Well, okay, yeah, you might, but what are they going to charge you for to do your cover? What are they going to charge you for to do all these other things that need to be done? Your editing, your formatting. You can write the book, but what is behind it? It's always a
Yeah.
catch. But with
Yeah.
this, it's not a catch. You're gonna get in there, you're gonna learn it, you're gonna self-publish. If you need anything else, the sources are available to you, but they're still available at a discounted price because you went through the author culture course. Now, I ain't saying it's a good, deep, cheap discount, but it's a reasonable discount because you went through the author culture course because it still takes time and effort to do a lot of the process. But the only thing that's really not that really comes with a cost is your cover because that takes a lot of work creating that. And anybody that does content creation or marketing, they
Graphic
know
design.
it takes a lot of time to actually create flyers or create that cover just how you want it. Even when I was creating the cover to my book, it took time and dedication to try to figure out, okay, like I want this goal to be like this, and I want the light to shine like this. You have to put so much time and effort into it. So that
Yeah.
author coaching course is definitely a must do if you want to write your own book.
Yeah. I definitely agree with you on that part. I want to ask you a question. Can you talk about, when we first talked, you were telling me sometimes that entrepreneurs would say, like, well, I don't think I need a book. But you talked about how getting a book in your industry can help with increasing your authority. And it's a great talking point for when you're hosting or attending events.
It is. And I say that because you have to realize everybody that has written a book, when they go and they speak on that topic, they're considered the expert.
Hmm.
Now, the person that comes in there and they don't have a book, they're just talking on the topic. It's a different in how people perceive you. It's a different in the respect that you get when you're on that stage and talking to people because you have something that they can say, oh, I can look back and say, that person really must know what they're doing because they have a book to go along with what they're talking about. That
Hmm.
person has accomplished some things. And people just look at you differently when it comes to you being on point with what you're doing and knowing what you're doing because you have a book to back you. So you might be the best person in the world that, lays cement, but you you get up on the stage and you're talking about how it is to mix the cement and how it is to do all of these things that you have to do when it comes to making sure that the cement sets right or whatever it does. And then somebody else comes in there and they like, well, I have a book and let me tell you how this and this and this and this. And they're saying the exact same thing that you're saying, but guess who they're going to listen to? They're going to listen to the person with the book because they're going to feel like that person really knows what they're talking about. You might have the most experience when it comes to it, but you don't have the authority to get the attention of the people that are in the room because you don't have a book to back you.
And what she's talking about too goes a little deeper into like brand positioning. Um, the perception, like you were saying, the audience's perception of you when you have these different credentials. Sometimes it's a book, sometimes it's a course, sometimes it's a degree, sometimes it's a event that you're hosting. But having these things, underneath your belt, it does help to boost that authority. It is great talking points when you have a website. Not saying that, you can't still grow and elevate as a professional, but it does help. And people do like to hear what you have to say. And they sometimes will go immediately and purchase the book after they've seen you talk and they know that, you're passionate about what you do. It's a great talking point. It was for me. Like when I first announced my affirmations book, it didn't take long for people to go and purchase their copies or purchase their books. So I thank you for talking about that, Nicole. What is did you share the other product or service that you wanted to highlight?
The other side of it is the motivational speaking point. So we have a motivational speaking course as well. So once you finish that author coaching course, I recommend to anyone to move over to that motivational speaking course because it helps teach you how to go from writing the book to being the brand.
Mm,
And people don't understand that once you write a book, you have a brand. You are the brand because you're representing what you're holding in your hand and telling people about. So that transition puts you on a lot of platforms. It puts you in front of a lot of people. You start being on podcasts, you start being speakers at events, you start all of these things that you have to do to sell your book and accomplish the things that you want to accomplish. But at the same time, you still are learning how to scale being an expert. Like, how can I be an expert if I'm not even able to go in and get on the stage and talk about the book that I have because you feel like you're gonna fumble over your words because you feel like you don't know what to say or how to say it or what level or organizational part of what you need to present it in.
mhm.
Some people kind of be all over the place, and some people their mind is always running, and I'm one of the people that my mind is always running, so I have to sometimes learn that I have to slow down, think, and then speak. And that course teaches you exactly when to do which, because sometimes you need your mind running, and then sometimes you need your mind to be slowed down so that you can present the information that you're giving to the people around you so that they understand exactly what you're saying. And even if you have to go back and rephrase it a different way for other people to understand it, this course teaches you that as well. Because one of the things that I have learned is a lot of people know my daughter because she's in the directory as well. She's deaf. She does ASL, but some things you say, she doesn't understand the way you're saying it. So you have to go back and reword it. So if you have to do that with someone that's doing ASL, guess what? They got people in that room going through the same thing that they don't understand what you're saying. But they're not gonna say, hey, can you repeat that? Because I didn't understand what you meant. What they're gonna do is they're gonna sit back and they're gonna look at you like they're throwing out these big words or they're doing all of this stuff and I don't understand whether I feel stupid or I don't feel like, this is for me when it really is for you. But your presentation didn't give it to everybody in the room.
Mhm.
So this is one of the things that the motivational coaching course, motivational speaking course teaches you.
And I can attest that we had two people in our directory that actually published their book through you, that I'm speaking of. I'm sure there's more people that are in the process or that have already signed up. But the two that I want to talk about this evening is LaShonda Irving, founder of LMI Legacy Collective, and then Kenitra Cohen's founder of Bougie Steps Boutique. So both of them, over the time that I've been able to work with them, I've been able to see them in our consults talk about different things that they're growing in their own networks, in their own communities. And just hearing how, in the beginning they were worried about the way they presented things, the message they were trying to get across, to now seeing the way that they're delivering these speeches. Kenitra was a motivational speaker at my previous event. She talked about domestic abuse prevention. She also talked about just empowering one another and creating safe spaces for women. LaShonda talked about learning how to prioritize yourself as a woman and not breaking yourself down. And they are both two extremely powerful women, but the message that they were getting across to people, it was resonating. And I think a lot of times when it comes to coaching, when it comes to motivational speaking, half of it is having the skills and the experience, but the other half is having the confidence and feeling like you're speaking to the people that need to hear the message. And a lot of people don't break past that first part, which is the confidence. And if you can't break past that, you can't get to that experience and those skills being built because you're always in your head. So I always tell people that I recommend a coaching course, a socialization course, because a lot of people just don't really like people, or not, let me not say like people, but don't cancel me. But a lot of people are not presenting themselves as people, like how to communicate with somebody, how to speak to a person, how to actively listen to a person, how to show them that you're engaged and you're present in the conversation. These are all things that come with motivational speaking, but also just socializing. And sometimes people unfortunately don't get to experience that because they were never given that. So they get out into this world and they're functioning and operating the best way that they know how, but there's different ways to speak to a person or to motivate a person. And I can even give an example, like when you talked about how sometimes a person might hear big words and, they feel like, okay, well, is this for me? Is this not? Sometimes people do that in the marketing industry. They use different jargon that only a marketer would understand. And they're speaking to a business owner as if the business owner is supposed to just know what that means. Like, if you're a new entrepreneur and I start talking to you about KPIs and AUR, and all that kind of stuff, you kind of looking at me like, okay, can you help me? Can you not? It's knowing who you're speaking to and what the solution is that they're wanting. So I do want to ask you, what is your message of the evening that you want everyone to hear? And I'm going to grab my books actually because I want to show off my books from the authors and the directory while we do that.
I think the biggest thing that I want to let people know is, and I stand on this very firmly, your voice is important. Speak loudly. That's one of the mottos that I have. But we have to learn that everyone has something within them that has a bold, bright, brilliant thing with it. And we have to know that no matter where we are, no matter what we're doing, no matter how we feel about the things that we are accomplishing, everybody was made to be incredible. Everybody was made to be abundant. And we have to know that we are powerful. And our voice is even stronger than that. We have to stop looking down on ourselves because we feel inferior. We feel like we can't accomplish the things that we want to accomplish because we're scared to take the step. We're letting fear go out there and take control and take over. We have to stop. We have to stop second guessing ourselves. We have to stop um, thinking that we're not good enough because we're more than enough. And we know that we can own any room that we step into as long as we have the voice to go against the odds.
Thank you for that beautiful message, Nicole. I appreciate you for coming on and talking about your solutions that you provide. And I just wanted to, while you were here, if you don't mind, I just want to give a little shout out and appreciation to all of the authors that are in our directory. Would you stay with me to do that? Do you have some time to do that?
Yeah, I got a little bit of time.
Okay, we'll be quick because I know you got things to do. So, the first one is Leaps of Faith, My Story of Overcoming Fear. And this is a book by Nicole Smith. And in this book, you get to learn her story and understand some of the obstacles that she had to overcome. There's a lot of things that she talks about from, childhood memories, trauma experiences, all the way up until adulthood, things that she had to overcome and work through. So it's a really inspirational message because to see that she went through these things and then she still continued to persevere, it's very inspiring. But also, the thing that I think is the most inspiring about you, one of the things, Nicole, is how it doesn't matter what stage you are in your life, you're always hungry for elevation and for growth. And it reminds me, and I'm sure anyone who's around you, the importance of never thinking that you can't learn more, never thinking that you've reached a capacity. So when I read this book and then I think about the things that you have experienced and the places that you were in mentally, emotionally, physically, and you just kept working through that, I just want to give you your flowers because you're doing an amazing job. So
Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
And
And then here's
I really have to give it to my kids because they were the inspiration that kept me going and kept me pushing because at that point I was a single mom and I just couldn't give up at that point, you know, no matter how hard it got, and it got hard, I just
yeah,
had to keep pushing and keep going. And I'm glad I did.
yeah. I'm glad that you did too because you've changed other people's lives for the better and you've inspired other people that never thought that they would be writing their own book to start writing their book. Oh, don't worry, I'm about to go through all these in just a second, but I was trying to just show them off real quick and then I'm gonna let you hop off because I know you're also multitasking and then you can, if you want to listen along, you're more than welcome to listen along. So we'll get back to that. Yes, it's juicy. So thank you so much for joining us on the show. I appreciate you. I appreciate Letitia for joining us. It has been lovely with you ladies. You both have a
Thank you.
wonderful rest of you're very welcome. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend or the rest of your week and weekend. And if you'd like to stay and listen to these books that I'm about to show off, you can. But if not, just pat yourself on the back because I love what both of you ladies had to talk about tonight. But most importantly, the mission behind why you were talking about it. It's beautiful. Great conversations.
Yeah.
So
And I'm just grateful to be back because I have been a little MIA, but I'm back now. So y'all get ready for hearing me talk all along and being in front of the camera again. So thank you for the opportunity.
of
Thank you for
course,
the
always.
opportunity, and hopefully I'll have more time to go into more details the next time.
Absolutely. I would love that. I think we need to break down some of the messages behind your events that you're doing because you have a photography event that you're starting to make happen in Louisiana. So I want to hear more about your inspiration behind that.
Definitely, definitely.
All right.
And I can
Thank
tell
you,
you now,
Nicole.
I can tell you the next
Oh,
time, but it's
you
up
can
to
tell
you.
me now if you want to. Go ahead. I'll show off these books while you
Okay,
tell me. I'll just
so the inspiration that I had behind that was it's a lot of things that are going on. Um, my daughter, she has cerebral palsy. I've overcome ovarian cancer. Um, my dad passed from cancer. My mom was sick with different things. Mental health is the one that's up for this month is mental health and melanoma. So those are two things that this one is standing for this month. Last month was autism. So
Mhm.
it's basically I want to help business owners start showing up for the cause. Because
Yeah.
if people see us standing up for the cause, then maybe they'll get more involved with the cause. Because a lot of these things they need funding. A lot of these organizations they're battling making it, trying to help people get through these things that they're dealing with on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and they don't have the funding. So
Yeah.
this was one of my ways of saying, okay, we can dress up, we can get cute, we can bring awareness to this, and we can make things happen for these organizations that are trying their best to make people lives easier. And
Mm.
again, I'm putting people and helping people on the front street, but it has to come from somewhere. And nobody in Louisiana was doing anything like that. So I was like, okay, since nobody's doing it, I'm gonna do it myself. And that's basically how I got started.
I love your mission and I love the fact that you're creating spaces for entrepreneurs to do that, Nicole, because I think we forget how powerful we really are. And that's a huge reason why a lot of people don't go and put themselves out there and they don't try to be that impact because they don't really think they can make an impact. And they also don't really feel like anybody would show up. I've kind of started to understand a little deeper why sometimes people don't show up. It's because they feel like nobody else is going to see them as worth showing up for sometimes. So
Yeah,
when there's spaces like yours where, you're providing this welcoming embrace and just getting people out of their comfort zone and teaching them that, it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but we got to put you out there. You got to dip your toes in the water. It makes it that much
exactly.
more attainable for somebody who is terrified of doing these kind of things. And I've met so many wonderful
Definitely.
entrepreneurs. Yeah, I've met so many wonderful entrepreneurs that they started off with a fear of not being received, not being appreciated, or not being understood. And that fear, they didn't realize it at the time, but that fear is what stopped them from being what they could have been, which is received, appreciated, seen, valued, sought after. All of that comes
Exactly.
from actually building momentum and taking the action and making it happen versus sitting on that fear and saying that it'll never happen.
That's
So,
true.
yeah,
That's true.
but
And then you can take a. It comes with it's $50 or $30 because I switched it up a little bit and I can't remember
mhm.
which one it was.
Uh,
But um, it comes with a group photo. You have to do an elevator pitch. So you have to know what you're going to talk about your business because that red carpet experience is in there. And then you get a free headshot. So now you have something that you can post on your social media showing that you're dressed up, you're looking like business, and you're supporting the cause. So not only is it helping the people that we're impacting during that month, but it's also showing you on another level of
yeah,
business mindset. So I don't care if I'm the only person that shows up, it's still gonna go on.
yeah, that's how everything starts. Um, I even had someone say that to me. They're like, "You're not worried about, not having a lot of people, or what will you do if so and so didn't come, or if you only had this?" And I'm like, "I show up. I continue to go where I said I was going because when you continue to move where you said you were moving, the people who are interested in moving with you will see that, and that alone with other things might be what attracts them. The fact that you said you were going from A to B and you went from A to B. Because there are a lot of people out here who
Yeah,
say they're going there and then they get worried about what other people think and they don't go there. And so all those people that were watching you are now looking at it like this might not be something to invest in or to focus on or to give or to buy into because you're
yeah,
not moving based off of what you need to do for your purpose. You're moving based off of the fear of how other people might perceive you. So, those are two different ways of thinking, and you have to tap into the one where you're not focused on outside external factors. You're focused on what do I need to be doing to move to the next level. And, if you come with me, great. If you don't, I'm still moving to the next level because somebody's going to see me and they're going to come with me. So,
exactly.
yeah. But again, thank you so much, Nicole, for joining us this evening. I appreciate you for hopping on in between, your work and things you had to take care of today. But we're
And
gonna
thank you for
release you.
having me.
Of
I
course.
appreciate it.
Of course. You have a great rest of your night, okay?
All right, bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, everyone. So that was Nicole, founder of AL Publishing and Consulting LLC. Tonight we had two wonderful professionals. We had Letitia and we had Nicole. Letitia is founder of She Styles Me. She Styles. So it's shestyles.me is her website, shestyles.b. And then for Nicole, her website is NicoleSmith.com. So you can check out more of their pieces there. If you're watching the replay and you see things that you like, feel free to visit their website as there were so many wonderful pieces that she had available. And she has sets, jumpsuits, dresses, I mean, you name it. So if you're someone that's interested in those kind of stylish pieces, go check her out. And then for Nicole, if you're wanting to have your book published or you're thinking about the self-publishing journey, check her out. She has author coaching course that is just $25. In this course, you're going to receive tons of information. On top of that, you're going to learn how to self-publish your own book. You're going to receive the steps from writing, crafting, brainstorming the book, all the way to designing, publishing, editing, finding outsourcing if you want to outsource or doing it yourself. But it's a great process to teach you how to fish versus giving you the fish so that when you're ready to publish another book, you don't have to go and pay someone to publish. You don't have to do a whole bunch of research. You have the steps. You just go and you get it published again. So highly recommend checking out her website, LicoleSmith.com, and seeing what she has to offer. All right. So now that we've had these wonderful entrepreneurs come on the show this evening, I do have tons of books and authors right here in front of me that I want to talk about briefly. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share this in our communities and I'm going to let everybody know I'm getting ready to do an author shout out. And I'm going to read each of these books for you so you can decide on if it's a story that you want to go and read. Okay, So we're going to post this on Facebook. You guys can watch through Instagram or Facebook. If you want to comment after listening to the description, then you can go there. But let me just post that. We're shouting out authors tonight. Give me about 30 seconds and then we'll go ahead and start the shout outs. All right, here we go. All right, I'm shouting out authors. If you want to hop on this live or share this live, you can. And I will shout you out too, but I'm going to start off with the businesses and the authors that are listed in our directory. Oh, excuse me. I was just telling Nicole and Letitia that Soft Girl Sunday gave me a workout, y'all. It was so much fun, but I felt like I was partying all weekend after Soft Girl Sunday. We had a good time. All right. Oh, okay, here we go. Thank you so much for your patience, everyone. I don't know if my mic is still even functioning, but we just keep it. Okay, so this evening I'm going to go ahead and just do some quick author appreciation for the wonderful authors that are listed in our directory. And if you happen to be an author and you're watching this live, and even if you're not in our directory, you can still leave a comment and I will shout out your brand, shout out your book. You can tell us what it's about. So first, I'm going to start off with the quickest books. And what I mean by that is the books that are not actually books to read. They're more so journals. So the first one is my Soft Girl Sunday self-care journal that actually came from Nicole Smith. Shout out to Nicole. She's wonderful. This is just a journal for me to write in. And on the back, it says host Catan Paul. So this was something complimentary that she gifted me with. And I just really appreciate her for this. So shout out to you, Nicole. Then I'm going to shout out Hootstop.com. Hootstop.com actually provides customized items. So this is a Boss Babe blog journal. Although I have worn it to bits, as you can see at the bottom. I love this journal. I don't have that many pages left because I've written down in this journal, but it has a book closer. I don't know what that would be called, but you know that part that closes up the book. It has an actual bookmark. So if you wanted to have your logo branded on these notebooks and you wanted to gift this to someone, if you wanted to do a free gift with purchase where you gifted them a notebook when they purchased from you, these are options that are available. So shout out to Hootstop.com for providing that. The founder of Hootstop.com is Danny, and she's an artist as well. So if you need help with getting a logo design, you can also go to her for that too. She does provide freelance services. So that is Hootstop.com. And I'm just going to pin that to the comments. All right. So the next book that we're going to shout out is actually coming from Nicole, and this is a journal. So this is our God Sent Notes and More. And inside of here, you have the event, the speaker, the topic, the date, the reflection, and the notes. So all that information for when you're going to attend upcoming events, just in case you want to have somewhere to place those notes. It can be for school, it can be for classes, it can be for business, all kinds of meetups, but this notebook is coming from NicoleSmith.com. And since I'm on Nicole, I'm going to put her website at the top so you guys can check her out. And then I'll pin that one so I can walk through the next books. So we did this. We did the journal. The next book that I'm shouting out is also coming from NicoleSmith.com. So flee the grave of fears and rise with the power of faith. No matter what it looks like, you can overcome your situation by keeping your eye on the prize, which takes faith to do. Have you ever felt buried in disappointment, like life was not fair, where you were pained, rehearsing past mistakes, which hindered you from accomplishing? During those times, did you feel like you were all alone and nobody had your back? The grave is dark, cold, the grave is dark, a dark, cold place. There is no life there. Darkness breeds fear, and fear begets more turmoil. Your mind is constantly tormented, only adding to the problem. Suddenly you feel caged, uninspired, defeated. If you can muster up the courage to have faith, things will turn around for you. Daily, we walk through life wondering about the negative instead of focusing on the positive. For most, it's easier to dwell on the problem rather than the promises of the problem solver. There's always a solution. We will have to begin to ask, seek, and knock. God did not create us to live or walk in fear, but he made us to have and walk in faith. James 2:26, for as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith work without works is dead also. We go through many different journeys in life, but God brings us through them. Allow my story to encourage you to flee to the grave, close the caskets of the fears once and for all. Trust that your circumstances are not the end for you. Rise in the power of faith and be made whole. With every step you take, you will build immunity. Setbacks will not stagnate you as they did before. You will discover faith you did not know you possessed, making it easier to navigate through life and, ups and downs. You will begin to use your voice, which brings out more healing in your life. You will find the more that you lean on there will be no room for fear. So this is Nicole Smith's book, and that is Leaps of Faith, My Story of Overcoming Fear. All right. The next book that I'm going to be sharing is actually coming from Devron Lee. You can find him on Amazon. There you go. All right. So this book is called Chasing Purpose. Domino Johnson is a Black male on a journey to enhance his company by helping other business owners and entrepreneurs to succeed in their own ventures. He has his brothers in his corner through the trials and setbacks. Domino is determined to succeed in his quest. The threats Domino must face are from his father, John Johnson. There are many more enemies who have yet to make themselves known. Domino suffers a lot of hardships through the course of his journey. Furthermore, he battles against a stereotype of not being able to achieve success without its sacrifice and without sacrificing and causing him his happiness. So this is Chasing Purpose. This book is action-packed. It's definitely for someone that loves an action film or action book. Check him out, Devron Lee. You can find him on Amazon. You can also get the Kindle version of his book as well. Okay, the next book that I'm reading is actually coming from Jada J Entertainment, or Jada J, the author. And her website is jadajent.com. I'm going to pin that for everybody. Okay. So that's her website. All right. It's the most wonderful time of the year and the Jackson family's first Christmas together without the matriarchs of the family. In a society where unbreakable Black family dynamics aren't prevalent, the Jackson family has always stuck together and remained blessed. However, when unexpected challenges arise and secrets that were kept in the dark are brought to the light, faith begins to be tested. Will greed, envy, and deceit tear their family apart and ruin Christmas? Or will the Jackson family be able to overcome everything the enemy sent to destroy them? Louisiana-born and Texas-raised award-winning singer and songwriter Irma P. Hall, award-winning actress, model, influencer, and author Jada J has written her books, screenplays, and is a CEO of her own entertainment company and became a TikTok viral sensation. She appeared in Church's Chicken First Bite campaign, Six Flags commercials, modeled for famous footwear, and 7-Eleven, sang the national anthem for the Texas Rangers on TV, and has worked with huge streaming platforms. Jada J truly believes that if you keep God first, you can achieve anything. So that's the book, and then this is the back of the book. Okay, so this is great book for, it didn't have to be for just the holidays, but if you're kind of in the holiday spirit and you want to get a book for a read along, definitely recommend checking it out. The next book that I'm going to be shouting out is coming from Cynthia. Cynthia is based out of Canada, and here is her book. An impoverished Hungarian boy picks up a gun in the 1956 revolution after witnessing the Soviet brutality and treachery of friends. Forced to escape his homeland in Victoria as a refugee, where he built a successful middle-class life for his wife and children throughout relentless hard work. Onward, Upward, an immigration success story. Yet the scars of his childhood and the trauma of the revolution haunt him and are passed on, particularly to those most sensitive of his children. His wife bears her own wound, the survival strategies developed by those under the most brutal communist forces, creating a wall of misunderstanding between her and her children. Cynthia Berenthi's nuanced, beautiful memoir of finding healing with her parents is a must read for all families who carry multi generational trauma. And this is the book. Okay, that's the back. And that is Cynthia. And I'm actually going to be leaving a review on this, so I won't say too much about this book. You'll see the video review. Then, last but not least, we have Rain Coleman. So you can go to raincoleman.com to get a book. And if you purchase from the website, you can request a signed copy from the author. So, No Lover to Offend. This one, ooh, I can't wait. I haven't read this one yet. I pretty much finished reading this one. Got to leave a review. Everything else I've read. So you guys will, hear me talk about these books and stuff. But No Lover to Offend. After learning of her husband's infidelity, Aretha Stokes catches the first flight out of Flint, Michigan, as she heads to San Francisco, California, to stay with her sister in an attempt at regaining some semblance of the former self she seemed to have lost along with her marriage. While in California, Aretha is thrown into several emotionally charged situations that force her to take a more active role in the things that happen in her life, spending time with her family. She meets new friends, and a possibility of a romantic relationship are just a few of the benefits that California provides. But Aretha still has to decide if this is the life for her, if she wants to live, or if she'll return home to Michigan and attempt to salvage her estranged marriage. Ooh. So a lot of tea going on in this book, and I can't wait to read it. This is a new author that is being added to our directory. So we have a literature page that will be up on our directory soon, where you can find authors, you can find publishers, you can learn about different genres. So that's really what it's going to be about: books, authors, publishers. So highly recommend checking them out, and then just stay tuned on our website as we continue to grow and create special links for all of our professionals. All right. So now that I've shared all this information, I would just like to say a huge thank you to every single person that joined us on this live this evening. If you're watching the replay, hit hashtag replay in the comments. If you're watching from Facebook, I appreciate you. Sometimes I only see the memos from YouTube right now, but we still are streaming on Facebook. So I appreciate you if you're watching. And just a huge thank you to everybody, like I said, that attended, that supported, and shared Soft Girl Sunday. I truly appreciate every last one of you. You all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for watching the Boss Babe Business Show. And I look forward to seeing you guys next Thursday, as always. Have a great night. Bye-bye.